The push for Kenya to ensure that it takes over the African Union Commission chairmanship continues to gain momentum. On Monday, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi met with diplomats drawn from various countries across Africa to drum up support for Raila Odinga, who has declared interest in the seat.
As you are aware, the position of the chair of the African Union Commission will take place, the election will take place in February 2025. This is an opportunity for the Eastern Africa region. Kenya has an interest, given her pivotal role in enhancing and sustaining the Pan-African agenda. Stakeholder engagement processes across governments is ongoing, and the formal process will follow.
The elections are set for 2025, with Kenya expected to use the opportunity to push for Pan-Africanism, with focus on trade and investment between East African countries.
Kenya will host, in the month of April 2024, the IDA 21 meeting that promises to be a pivotal platform of transformative discussions on a global scale, including building innovative global financing approaches and architecture. This is an opportunity for us to speak with one voice and galvanize support.
Mudavadi would the diplomats on the grounds that Kenya is keen on uniting the continent, and this is exhibited through its commitment as a visa-free country. On his part, Azimio leader Raila Odinga was expected in Rwanda on Monday in a meeting with President Paul Kagame to push for his bid to succeed Chad's Moussa Faki. Last week, the Azimio chief affirmed that he had the backing of the entire East African leadership, the relationship between Kenya and her neighbors becoming a focal point.
But in terms of Raila bolstering his connections with imperialist interest, definitely Raila will exploit that opportunity to make sure that he can get certain support, from areas that, of course, trusted in Ruto more than Raila, who they call might have had some communist background just because of his father, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, where Raila himself definitely has always called himself a social democrat and not a communist, as there were some of the, the people in the West will want to analyze him to be.
Those are sibling rivalries. Just because you've got a problem with your brother, a little one, you are told to do this and then they didn't do the chores as directed by parents, it doesn't mean that in the evening you stop being siblings.
At the same time, Odinga and Ruto's relationship with other East African countries and African leaders has been touted as determinants in the African Union elections.
Raila has taken, unfortunately, in terms of issues of the continent, Raila has taken a position only to support imperialism. For example, for sure, a country like Morocco could support Raila Amolo Odinga, because remember when Raila Amolo Odinga was the prime minister, they ensured that the conflict between Morocco and Western Sahara was thawed and brought into, and the Western Sahara embassy was closed, and for that Raila was acting, only as a lapdog of Moroccan king. And now maybe Moroccan king will be there to return, to say that, no, you supported me during the era when you were the prime minister, now I support you. And Raila's influence in the continent cannot be undermined. Only that they have been short of any Pan-Africanism ideology. Even if you look at his position in Zimbabwe, when we had the NDC and the ZANU-PF fight, you remember Raila was the biggest critic to the Zimbabwean government at that time, the ZANU-PF government, and supported the NDC, which the NDC we know was sponsored by the French interest in that country. So we cannot undermine Raila's influence in the continent.
Odinga's push to entice the East African region, however, appears to be getting headwinds after Somalia last week presented former Foreign Affairs Minister Fawzia Adam to take on Odinga in the quest for the AU chairmanship. Martin Opio, K24 TV, Nairobi.